My friend, I know you've got big dreams, the kind that keep you up at night, the kind that could change your entire life. You know what you need to do. You've watched the videos, read the advice, maybe even made a plan, and yet nothing changes.
Each of us gets to make a daily choice to play the victim or play the game. And if you're gonna play the game, I suggest you play to win.
You want success, but you're stuck. You know exactly what you should be doing, yet you don't do it. Days turn into weeks, weeks into months, and before you know it, another year rolls by and you're still in the same place. And that's wasteful, my friend, because
you are unique. Your DNA has never occurred in the history of the universe, going back billions of years. It will never occur in the future. To waste that is just the worst thing you can do in your life.
the thing keeping you from success isn't your lack of motivation. It's not even that you're lazy. The real reason? You haven't built momentum. You haven't given yourself a fighting chance to push past the initial resistance and create a cycle of success.
That even if somebody is just walking 5 days a week consistently, just walking, right? It's the consistency is what pays off.
My friend, the new year is already a few weeks old. My question to you is, are you going to let another year go by, or are you ready to take control? Let's break this cycle together, and let's do it right now. In this video, we're going to break down the biggest traps holding you back, excuses, distractions, and self-doubt, and I'll give you a practical, step-by-step plan on how you can start building momentum, breaking free from laziness, and making 2025 the year you finally get ahead. And trust me, you'll want to stay until the end, because I'm sharing a bonus tip that completely changed my life. So take a deep breath, find a quiet spot, shut out the noise, because this will be the start of something incredible for you. So, my friend, what's really holding you back? It's not a lack of motivation. It's not because you're just lazy. It's not even fear of judgment. Because let's be real, if you're watching this, you probably don't care too much about what other people think. The real reason? You're afraid of yourself. Afraid you won't make it. Afraid you're not as talented as the version of you in your head. Afraid of starting because what if you fail?
People are like, I'm afraid of failing. No one's afraid of failing. People are afraid of other people's judgment about their failure.
That's what keeps you stuck. Not the work itself, not the grind, but the thought of putting in effort and not living up to the expectations you've built in your head. So instead of starting, you do nothing. You spend hours, days, fantasizing about your dream life. You picture yourself at the top, achieving everything you've ever wanted. But when you snap back to reality, you're still exactly where you were yesterday. And that gap between where you are and where you should be, that's where all your frustration, self-doubt, and guilt live. But here's the thing, my friend, you don't have to stay stuck. That fear, it's just an illusion. And once you take action, it starts to fade. Let's break that fear right now and move forward, because on the other side is the life you've been waiting for. So I posted this poll in the community tab to see how you approach challenges, and over 500 of you voted. I love that the majority believes in planning and strategizing before taking action. But I also respect the 25% who dive in head first. Sometimes that's exactly what's needed. Now I want to hear from you. Which team are you on, or do you switch between both approaches depending on the challenge? Drop a comment below and let me know how you tackle challenges. My friend, let's talk about motivation. Motivation is like that one friend who hypes you up at a party but disappears when it's time to move furniture. It gets you excited, gets you started, and then boom, you hit resistance. There's no guaranteed paycheck, no instant results, no one clapping for you in the background. So what happens? You slow down, doubt creeps in, the excuses start rolling in, and then you convince yourself, I'll start again on Monday. And guess what? Monday ain't coming. Waiting for motivation is like waiting for perfect weather before going outside. You'll sit there forever while life moves on without you. But here's what you need to know.
When your mind is not where you want it to be, look to your body. Use the body to shift the mind.
Move. Do something. Anything. Motivation will never carry you to success. You need something stronger. You need momentum. And momentum doesn't come from thinking, it comes from starting. So stop waiting for the right moment to feel ready. It's not coming. But you can start anyway. You know Newton's first law, right? Objects at rest, stay at rest. Objects in motion, stay in motion. Guess what? You're the object. Right now, you're stuck in rest mode. Scrolling, overthinking, waiting for the right time. And here's the problem. The longer you stay still, the harder it is to move. You say you'll start tomorrow, next week, next month. But the truth, if you don't act now, you probably never will. But once you start moving, everything changes.
Your life is an exact reflection of your choices. You are not a victim. And even if you are, it does not help you to think that way. You have to break through that.
That's why the hardest part isn't the work itself. It's not the gym session, the study session, or the grind. The hardest part is just getting started. Once you push past that initial resistance, momentum takes over. And that's when things finally start clicking. So stop waiting, stop hesitating, It's time to break the cycle and move. If you've made it this far, my friend, you already know what's holding you back: inertia, self-doubt, and the illusion that motivation will someday magically fix everything. But now, let me tell you a way how you can actually do something about it. Starting is the hardest part, so let's make it as easy as possible. This isn't about forcing yourself into an impossible routine overnight. It's about hacking your brain, making tiny shifts, and creating momentum that keeps you going. Now, before we begin, I want to hear from you. How do you fight laziness? Do you have a personal trick that keeps you going even when you don't feel like it? Drop it in the comments. I'm always looking for new ways to stay on top of my game. Here's a step-by-step plan to break free from laziness, stop procrastinating, and actually get things done. Step 1, lower the stakes, make it so easy you can't fail. Your brain hates big, overwhelming tasks. That's why when you think about writing an essay, working out, or building a business, you suddenly feel exhausted before you even start. So let's make things stupidly easy. Instead of, I have to write a 5,000-word essay, just write 50 words. Instead of, I need to go to the gym for an hour, just do 5 push-ups. Instead of, I have to clean my whole room, just pick up one thing. Why does this work? Because momentum matters. When you lower the stakes, you eliminate resistance. And once you start, your brain wants to keep going.
Starving has a negative connotation, but we can also starve out the negative things in your life. Like you can starve the alcohol, you can starve the porn, you can starve the friends. And I think the easiest way to do that is to get out of the environment you're in.
If distractions and bad habits are making it impossible for you to focus, starve them out. Unfollow accounts that drain you. Cut down time with people who hold you back. Change your environment so taking action becomes easier than avoiding it. Step 2, the 2-minute rule. Just start, that's it. The 2-minute rule is a game changer. Here's how it works. Whatever you're avoiding, just commit to doing it for 2 minutes. That's it. Work on your project for 2 minutes. Clean your desk for 2 minutes. Read 1 page of that book. Why? Because objects in motion stay in motion. You'll almost never stop after 2 minutes. Your brain will think, well, I've already started, might as well keep going. And if you ever feel unmotivated, start focusing on the craving aspect and dopamine.
If people are feeling that they're not motivated or as motivated as they would like to be, there's a key step that people need to take, which is to start focusing on the craving aspect and dopamine.
Instead of thinking about how hard something will be, train yourself to crave the reward. Focus on the satisfaction of completing a workout, not the struggle of starting one. Think about how good it'll feel to have your task done, not how hard it is to begin. You're not waiting for motivation anymore. You're hacking your brain to work in your favor. Step 3, build small wins. Stack tiny victories until they add up. Forget perfection, just focus on consistency. 50 words a day equals 18,000 words in a year. That's a whole book. 5 push-ups daily equals actual fitness progress. 2 minutes of focused work equals unstoppable momentum. Success isn't built overnight. It's built in tiny, unsexy daily actions that most people ignore. The majority of people never reach their goals, not because they're not capable, but because they don't stay consistent long enough to see results.
Majority of people never reach their goals, and I think it's because they're not able to either, because either will work, they're not able to either stop caring about what the reason is, or they never take the time to figure out the reason.
So here's a personal tip. Tie every action to a reason that actually excites you. Don't just work out because you should. Do it because you want to look and feel powerful. Don't just start a business for money. Do it because you want the freedom that comes with it. Don't just study for a test. Do it because you want to master the subject. When you have a strong why, the work stops feeling like punishment and starts feeling like progress. Step 4, find your purpose. Make every action meaningful. When you don't have a clear purpose, everything feels like a chore. But when you find something worth working for, every little step suddenly makes sense.
When you find that sense of purpose, when you find what I call your life's task, everything has a direction, everything has a purpose. Your energy is concentrated. It's not like you're just going down a single narrow pathway. It's not like life becomes boring and it's just about discipline and solving problems. It's actually the most exciting thing that can ever happen to you.
This is the real reason most people stay lazy. Not because they don't want success, but because they don't know what success actually looks like for them. So take a step back and ask yourself, what kind of life do you actually want? What's one thing you could get obsessed with? What excites you so much that you'd work on it for free? Once you have that clarity, everything else falls into place. Step 5, surround yourself with the right people. Your environment shapes your actions more than you realize.
I mean, if you want to be successful in life, you definitely either want to surround yourself with people who are also ambitious in the things that you enjoy and love.
If you're always around people who complain, procrastinate, and settle, guess what? That mindset rubs off on you. But if you're around people who are driven, taking action, and pushing forward, you'll start thinking, damn, I need to step up my game. Here's a quick test. Look at the 5 people you spend the most time with. Are they making moves or making excuses? Do they inspire you or drain you? Are they helping you grow or keeping you stuck? If they're not pushing you to be better, it's time to level up your circle. My friend, you don't need more motivation. You don't need another video. You need to move. You're not lazy. You're just stuck in inertia. And the only way to break free, take the first step right now. So, what's one thing you're going to do right now? Drop it in the comments and let's make this the year you finally break through.
I think we should take some time to be able to look in the mirror and own that thing that we pulled off and go, good job. That's what you wanted. That's what you got.
So what to do on the days you feel unmotivated? Those days will come. No matter how disciplined or driven you are, there will be days when you feel completely unmotivated. You'll wake up feeling sluggish, you'll question your goals, and everything will feel 10 times harder than usual. This is normal. But what separates winners from quitters is how they handle these days. If you quit every time you feel off, you'll never make progress. The key isn't to feel motivated all the time, it's to have a system in place for when motivation disappears. Here's how to stay on track, even on your worst days. 1. The bare minimum strategy. On low energy days, don't aim for perfection, just aim to show up. Instead of expecting yourself to crush your to-do list, set a bare minimum standard, something so small that you can't fail. For example, if you plan to work out for an hour, just stretch for 5 minutes. If you were supposed to study for 2 hours, skim through a few pages. If you're avoiding a big project, spend 5 minutes organizing your workspace. The goal is simple. Don't break the habit. Even if you do the bare minimum, you're still showing up, and that's what keeps momentum alive.
So attention is crucial for achieving goals and problem solving. And to me, those are the 2 of the most important things in life.
2. Change your environment. Sometimes a lack of motivation isn't about you, it's about what's around you. If you're stuck in the same spot, staring at the same walls, your brain will associate that space with laziness and avoidance. So switch it up. Work from a new location, a coffee shop, a library, even a different room in your house. Change one thing in your space. A cleaner desk, better lighting, or music in the background. Go for a walk. Physical movement resets your mental state. Changing your surroundings tricks your brain into a new mode, one where action feels easier. 3. The 10-minute trick. Find a quick win. Instead of looking at your entire to-do list and feeling overwhelmed, pick something you can finish in 10 minutes or less. Reply to one email, read one chapter, take one small action toward your goal. Completing even one tiny task gives you a quick win, and that boost of accomplishment is usually enough to reignite momentum. Reconnect with your why. When motivation is low, it's easy to forget why you started in the first place. Take a moment to remind yourself, what was your original goal? What excited you about it? What happens if you don't follow through? Sometimes all you need is a mental reset to get back in the game. Motivation comes and goes, but consistency is what gets results. So on the days you feel like doing nothing, don't aim for perfection, just aim to move forward, even if it's slow. Because in the long run, slow progress is always better than none.
If you want revenge for the bad things that have happened in your life, start with the version of you that hasn't lived up to your potential.
You think working hard is tough? Try living with regret. Regret isn't just disappointment. It's a slow, suffocating realization that you had the time, the chances, the potential, and you did nothing with it. You keep telling yourself, I'll start next week, or I just need to feel more ready. But what happens? Weeks turn into months, months turn into years, and one day you look back and realize that the dreams you once had, they're now just memories of what could have been. That's what happens when you stay exactly where you are. You keep pushing things off, assuming there's always going to be more time, but time isn't waiting for you. The longer you wait, the harder it gets. The more you procrastinate, the more you start believing you're not capable. That laziness isn't just a phase, it becomes a part of your identity. You start telling yourself, maybe success isn't for me. Maybe I don't have what it takes. Maybe I should just accept where I am. And that's the real danger. It's not just missing out on opportunities, it's becoming the kind of person who stops believing in their own potential. So my friend, I need you to ask yourself this right now. What's going to hurt more? The discomfort of putting in the work today, or waking up 5 years from now, realizing you wasted all this time making excuses? Failure isn't the worst thing that can happen to you. Wasting your life is. And the only way to stop that? Take action today, right now, because every single day you wait is a day you don't get back.
Not trying is failing. There's a lot of things that people can't do simply because you've never tried to do it.
Let's be real, my friend. There's no escaping pain in life. But here's the truth that most people don't want to hear. You're going to feel pain either way. You either feel the pain of staying the same, the regret, the frustration, the endless cycle of I should have started sooner, or you feel the pain of growth, the discomfort of pushing yourself, the struggle of learning new skills, the resistance that comes with doing hard things. There's no avoiding it. The question is, which pain are you going to choose? Imagine this. It's a year from now and nothing has changed. You still feel stuck. You're still making the same excuses. You still dream about a better life, but you've done nothing to make it happen. That kind of pain, it's slow, it eats at you little by little, until one day you wake up and realize that years have passed and you're still exactly where you were before. And the worst part, it's self-inflicted. Nobody forced you to stay the same. Nobody held you back but you. Think about all the things you've avoided because they felt uncomfortable. Now ask yourself, did avoiding them make life any easier? Or did it just create more problems, more stress, more self-doubt? Because here's what nobody tells you. Avoiding discomfort doesn't make life easier. It just postpones the struggle until it's even harder to overcome. Now, let's flip the script. What if, instead of avoiding discomfort, you leaned into it? Yes, pushing yourself is hard. Learning a new skill is frustrating. Waking up early, working out, grinding on your goals when you'd rather relax. It all sucks in the moment. But unlike the pain of staying the same, this kind of pain has a purpose. The pain of discipline creates freedom. The pain of learning creates confidence. The pain of failure creates experience. This pain is temporary, but the rewards, they last forever. Because when you choose growth over comfort, something incredible happens. You stop fearing challenges. Instead of running from them, you start seeing them as stepping stones to becoming the person you were meant to be.
Nothing is given, everything is earned. And for things to be earned correctly, you have to surround yourself with people that you can not only earn with, but that will support and embrace along the way.
Choose your pain. At the end of the day, you don't get to avoid pain, but you do get to choose which one you endure. Stay the same and you'll feel the slow, suffocating regret of wasted time. Push forward and you'll feel the temporary struggle of becoming someone stronger. All right, my friend, no more waiting, no more overthinking. Right now, pick one thing you've been avoiding and do it for 2 minutes. Just 2 minutes. That's it. Why? Because action leads to momentum, and once you move, you stay moving. Before you know it, you're not just ambitious, you're unstoppable. Think about all the time you've wasted waiting to feel ready, waiting for motivation, waiting for a sign, waiting for the perfect moment that never comes. You've been standing at the edge of change for too long, and let me tell you this, you will never feel fully ready, but you don't have to be. You just have to start. Success isn't just about what you do, it's about who you're around. If you're constantly surrounded by people who are lazy, uninspired, or stuck in the same excuses, guess what? That energy is contagious. But when you surround yourself with people who take action, who push forward no matter what, who challenge themselves daily, you start leveling up too. So here's your challenge. 1, pick one task you've been avoiding. 2, set a timer for 2 minutes. 3, do the damn thing. Not tomorrow, not next week, now. Because your future self is waiting for you on the other side of this decision. The question is, are you going to show up for him? Don't disappoint him. Go, move, do the thing. My friend, imagine this. Looking back at 2025 and realizing that this was the year everything changed. Not because of some massive overnight success, but because you finally stopped waiting and started doing. Success isn't about making one big move. It's about the small, daily decisions that compound over time. It's about pushing through even when you don't feel like it. It's about showing up, even if it's just for 2 minutes. So don't overthink it. Right now, get up, grab your phone, a notebook, anything, and write down one thing you're going to do today. That's it. Start there. Because action beats overthinking every single time. And if you're serious about leveling up, this video right here is packed with even more practical steps to keep you moving forward. But for now, go, move, do the thing.